I think we are all very excited today about the looks of Bitcoin, the looks of the crypto market in general. I want to welcome everybody, and also Joe and Nate, our organizers tonight. Joe, you guys there? Nate?
Yeah, sure. Joe's here.
All right, fantastic. Well, guys, we've still got quite a few hundred people to come in, but we're gonna go ahead and get started because we are on a time schedule tonight. And Joe and Nate, can you guys confirm you can see my screen with charts on it for me?
Yep, I can, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Before we get going, guys, I just want to do one real quick thing. I want to give you guys a real quick disclaimer. Neither Joe, nor Nate, nor I are your financial advisors. And what we're going to talk about tonight is not financial advice. Nothing you will hear on this video is meant to be financial advice. And we're giving you caution. We are pro-crypto. We are biased to crypto. Nate, if you would, just kill your mic there. All right, guys, so before we get started, real quick, Joe, if you don't mind coming on, I want to ask you a couple questions before we get going. We got to set the stage a little bit here.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy. So I have officially been named by a lot of my trading students Crypto J, so I'll introduce myself as Crypto J. Not to be mistaken with the Crypto J that's on YouTube, but before this past Saturday, Joe, had you and I, other than a few emails this past year, have we ever spoken, spent any time together?
Nope, yeah, just those few emails was it. Never spoke to each other, phone, face-to-face, nothing.
Right. And when I had this idea most recently to do this, I just want your listeners to know one of the reasons that I chose you over quite a few other folks on YouTube that I have followed in different capacities was because of this last incident that happened with BitPetite. And it really let me know that a guy's out there not just telling the people that he's for the people, but you actually showed people that you're for the people. So I wanted to thank you for that publicly.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Also, one of the things that I always talk to people about is I say your wealth in life is in direct proportion to how many people you've served. And I've also watched you serve now in your capacity on YouTube for the better part of a year, especially in the crypto space, helping people get involved, giving them free information, taking your technical background, and putting videos out there that were just simply phenomenal. So well done to you, Joe. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a condensed version of an intro here because I want you to know who you're talking to before I get into showing you a few things. You know, anybody on the internet can sit behind a screen and tell you how wonderful they are. They can tell you, that they've been doing something for a long time, or they can put up videos for clickbait on YouTube and say, here's my top 4 coins. And my goodness, is YouTube full of that. But let me explain something to you guys. I do real portfolio building, and I do real portfolio structure with a lot of my clients. And all I can tell you is 95 to 99% of them, every single one of them, their portfolios are 50, 60, 70% in the hole because they listened to somebody on YouTube that knew nothing about trading. They knew nothing about charting. They knew nothing about what they were talking about, but they were sure getting the 10,000 views and the 20,000 views. And while I'm on that topic, I'd just like to say that you guys have been following Joe on his channel, and I have too, and I have watched some of the calls he's given as far as, hey guys, I'm getting involved in this. You can or can't, and I'm going to ride it out and hold it out. And man, has he done good. For a guy who did not know how to trade and has never traded or looked at charts or learned the ins and outs to trading, he has done fantastic. And so for those of you that have followed him, I know somebody just the other night put up that they'd made like $273,000 on EOS. That is fantastic. That is super, and kudos to you, Joe.
Thank you.
Now, real quick intro, guys. I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. Pretty much was never born to work for somebody else. So I've had just about every kind of business you can name, from Nextel dealerships to ADT franchises to car dealerships, you name it. But my passion has always been in trading when I first got into that. And the main reason it was in trading is because I finally found a way where I could create income anywhere in the world I wanted to be. I didn't have to be locked to a job. I didn't have to be locked to a car dealership. I could literally just take my computer, and as long as I had internet connection, I was on my way. And so I fell in love with trading. I got into stocks, lost a whole bunch of money, made a bunch of money, found out that I was a gambler, and really got some good education, but that education cost me a lot of money. I moved from stocks real quickly into options, and then from there I moved straight over into Forex because I was losing my shirt in options. And this was about the time the Forex market went live for retail traders, and it was in that market that I actually learned how to trade. I won't go into that story. If you're going to take our education courses, you're going to hear all about that. But in and around that time frame, I got a Series 3 and a Series 7's license, and I was able to actually start making millions of dollars trading. And I even had accounts that were hooked up to my account to where every time I made a trade, that same trade went off in somebody else's account. And they were making the same percentage trade I was and earning the same profits I was. So these were my clients at the time. And most of those clients, I helped them sometimes in 3-4 months at a time make 100% on their accounts. I mean, it was just phenomenal. Nothing like crypto, I might add, but boy, was it good at the time. And I thought I had arrived, and I had made millions in my life in other businesses, but now I was making millions with just my time on a computer. And boy, that was freedom, to be able to take my computer and travel all over the world and be able to make any amount of money I wanted to make. And you go on vacation or go somewhere around the world and be able to just sit there and get there and make $5, $10, $15, $20,000 in a morning right before you go out to enjoy your day. I mean, it just changes your world, right? So I taught about 25,000 people how to trade when I was in the Forex market. I traveled all over the world. I did online trainings. I used to run some trading rooms. My father used to help me. Had a whole lot going on there. I started a company where I actually, after I got my licenses, I came into this trade room every day, 24 hours at a time, and I would actually make trades with my traders. So I would set trades up with them on the screen and just tell them, I never told them you should buy, just like we're not telling you guys today you should buy. But what I did tell them was, here's where I'm getting in, and here's where I'm getting out, and here's the kind of stop loss I'm looking at, and here's the amount of profit I'm looking for. And if they took the trade, that was on them, not on me. And that's basically how I still do it today. So I did this trade room, and it went great for a long time. And I made millions of dollars in the trade room. I made millions of dollars trading in the trade room. And it's really the reason why, and the reason I'm telling you a little bit of this background is because I know Joe's been telling you guys how private I am. But the reason I'm this private is because of what happened next. Basically, I decided at this point that I wanted to get out of trading in that environment where the whole world was depending on me for their success. Also, I felt like I was dying in my chair. My hair was turning gray. Sometimes I'd be in my trade room for 24 or 36 or 48 hours sleeping on the floor next to my chair. And I had the whole world, it felt like, sucking all the energy out of me and all the life out of me. So one day I just decided, you know what? No matter how much money I'm making, it's not worth it. And that's kind of a changing point in life right there. But when I did that, you'd just be surprised at the people who started to hate on me. And basically these same people that were telling me how much they loved me forever and ever and ever just began to hate on me. And that hate turned into some pretty vicious things, and I won't go into them on this call, but all I can tell you is I disappeared. I just completely disappeared. I had plenty of money, and I disappeared. Took my family, and I went my direction. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about, now that you got a little bit of a background on me, and I'm going kind of quick because I've got another webinar to get into tonight I was invited to go into, and this guy's planning on having around 10,000 people there. I've got to be there in an hour and a half. So I am going a little bit quicker tonight. But I want you guys to see a difference here tonight. And part of seeing that difference is you guys have got to know just a little bit about me. Just a little bit. So Joe, if you don't mind, cue up your mic real quick. And I want you guys to understand a little bit. just a little bit about me. I'm going to ask Joe a couple questions once he comes on here, and then I'm going to bring Nate on, and we'll just kind of take it from there. Joe, real quick, when you and I first started talking on Saturday, where we spent about 3 hours together, because I'm not going to show these people in this room everything I showed you, Joe. They either trust you or they don't. I'm going to show them some things. They're going to go out of here knowing. They're going to go out of here knowing this is the real McCoy. But I showed you pretty much everything. Did I show you a couple hours worth of the trades we've been making over the last 5-6 months?
Yep, absolutely.
Did I live right there where you could see me pick up my Nano wallet right off my desk and plug it in, show you when it came up on my screen? Did I show you the amount of money in my wallets?
Yep.
And the other question I have in regards to my wallets, did I show you any wallets that had less than 6 figures in them?
I don't believe so, as a matter of fact.
And in fact, I'll go a step further. Did I show you any wallets that had less than multiple 6 figures in it?
Yeah, I don't believe so.
Okay. And now, on some of these wallets I showed you, Joe, did any of them have, say, 7 figures in them?
That's a big 10-4.
How about multiple 7 figures?
Yep.
And the reason I'm bringing this up, guys, is because you guys have been following Joe. You haven't been following me. But when Joe brings you something, he doesn't bring you anything that he hadn't seen for himself. Now, what I'm also going to ask Joe is, Joe, you and I put together a business deal in the last few days. And in doing that deal, have I already changed that deal just a little bit, tweaked it, made it a little bit sweeter for you?
You did. You did.
Did you have to ask me, or did I just say, hey, this is what I've been thinking about and I want to do this?
Yep. You said universe has spoke.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit of that, Joe. I'm going to move on to Nate now. Nate, if you don't mind, I wanted to bring Nate on for you guys because he's basically another one of my friends who's basically like a brother to me. I used to kind of think of him as a son because he's 16 years younger, but as he's getting closer to 30, it's more like a brother relationship. And there's just a couple people on this planet that I trust as much as I trust Nate. And that's a pretty special thing in 2017. When you have someone that you trust with your checkbook and as well as your wife in a room by themselves, that's a pretty special friend. So I really think the world of Nate. And as he shares with you guys, I've got some questions for him. Just, I'm going to let him share a little bit about his background, but just understand this is one of those few people where you get down the road in your life and you go, wow, I've only got 1 or 2 of those guys. So he's pretty special to me. Nate, if you don't mind, tell these guys a little bit about your background real quick, maybe in under 1 minute.
Sure. So first off, I obviously met Jay in 2011, so I've known him for 7 going on 8 years. My background educationally actually was in finance and marketing in business in college, and realized once I graduated how little I really knew about finance. Had done some sort of self-education, crash courses in investing, in options trading, and a couple different things, and was not all that successful. Learned a lot of things, made some money, lost some money, definitely more than I made. And then recently I've gotten into cryptocurrency and been able to glean a great deal, not just from being in the market and seeing how it has worked over the past 6 to 8 months, but really just listening and learning from Jay and understanding what it means to trade, understanding what it means to educate yourself and understand what's actually going on. So it's been a great journey so far, and look forward to more.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you. And real quick, you said that you and I have known each other for, what's going on here, 2018 would be 7 years now, roughly 7.5 years. Have you and I done other business ventures together outside of trading?
Yeah, we sure have.
Okay. And outside of trading, have I been able to give you some advice that saved you years and thousands of dollars?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so Nate was one of those people where I was trying to pay it forward in my life, because I had some mentors in my life that just came into my life when I wasn't expecting it, and they spoke things into my life that changed my life forever. And when Nate and I made that connection, and I was 16 years older, I've never treated him like I'm 16 years older. I mean, he's always been an equal to me. He's got a brilliant mind and a very old soul, so he's really nice to hang out with, when you're talking about hanging out with someone younger. But in all those business deals that we did together, Nate, have you ever caught me in a lie?
I have not.
Have I ever bounced a check to you?
Definitely not.
Now, in life, Nate, have you seen me totally miss it and make a mistake and then have to apologize and be humbled by that and say, man, I'm sorry?
I sure have.
And that's just normal living, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Nate, I want to thank you for being my friend and never judging me and giving me room to grow at times like that.
Absolutely. I appreciate the same from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's get into this, because these types of things is what matters when you're talking about people spending their money with someone. You've got, guys, I can't promote myself. That's why Nate is here. He's just one person that's willing to come on the line and say, this is truly how it is, and you can believe in this guy. So let's just move from these, heartfelt things into trading. How long have you and I been trading crypto together, Nate?
End of May, roughly. You might have got in a couple weeks before me, so we're looking at about 6 months.
Okay. And you and I hooked up real quick, and we've spent most of our days together online, talking, chatting, some of it live, some of it over text, whatever. But in that time frame, let's take a look at some of the trades that we've done together. And I just want you to back me up on this. And by the way, have I ever specifically told you, hey, you got to get in this, or did I just say to you, here's what I'm doing and here's what I'm getting in at?
You've just been sharing the wealth. The option's up to me.
All right, so when we go here, and I want to change this time frame here. When we go here to 8X, did we get into this trade, Nate, right back here in June, somewhere right down in here?
We did.
And we rode it all the way up to here, didn't we?
Sure did.
All right, there's one. Let's go to, I guess I went to ARC first. Let's go to 8X next. These are trade calls, folks. I'm not going to tell you how I knew to make the trade. That's what I teach you in my classes. But Nate, have I taught you why we're getting in the trade as we've done it?
Of course.
And how about this one right here? Did we get into this trade right in here? Right about right there?
Sure did.
And after it popped the first time, we didn't get out real quick all, with the fuzzy feeling. We stayed in for the ride back down and the ride back up, didn't we?
That we did.
And I'd say we killed it pretty good on that trade.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Bitcoin. Let's talk about some of our Bitcoin trades. Right here. Actually, we always talk about this buy right here, but today I was thinking, Nate, let's talk about that. But first, before we do, let's talk about this. Right up in here, when this thing started falling, did I not start talking to you that we had a nice correction coming here that's probably going to come down somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000?
Yes, you did. Once it broke 5,000, that was the conversation.
Yeah. And then once it really started to fall a couple weeks later, was I not scurrying around to get hundreds of thousands of dollars put into my accounts to where we could start buying it?
Yes.
I told you, I said we're going to start buying it like 3,600 to 3,800, and we're going to buy it all the way down to $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your lowest buy order that you actually picked up?
Just around. No, lowest was 36. I was about half at about 4 and half at about 36.
And do you remember what my lowest was?
29.50, I believe.
Yeah, it's like 29.74.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, I bought several hundred Bitcoin that week. Several hundred Bitcoin. And if you're paying attention, I want you to pay attention to this. I'm still in that trade. Let that sink in a minute. While the whole rest of the world every single week says Bitcoin's at a bubble, Bitcoin's at a new high. Oh my goodness, we got to start shorting this. Can I tell you guys something real quick? Let's just start teaching here. Stay with me, Nate. Don't short Bitcoin. Don't short anything in crypto. If you're shorting stuff in the middle of a bull rally, and we're going to be in a bull rally for 7 to 10 more years, if you're shorting it, you're telling the whole world that you're not a bull or a bear, you're a pig, and pigs get slaughtered. Just a couple weeks ago, there was a guy in China who shorted Bitcoin when it hit 7,500, and he figured it out real quick how much of a pig he was. He lost $56 million shorting Bitcoin. I'm going to go ahead and say it one more time, guys. Please do not short anything in this market. If you've rode a coin up and it's done great, and you're wanting to make more money, find another coin. There's 1,350 of them, but don't short it. Please don't short it. This is a bull rally. You will lose your money. The only thing we're going to do is buy the friggin' dip. Every time it goes down, we're going to be buying. So we basically got in this trade, Nate, and this has gone up now. We've touched 14,000 today. And just so these folks know, when Bitcoin was down in here, let me take a look at the price. When Bitcoin was right in here, Nate, and I started making price predictions, did I or did I not say my next target's 7,500?
You sure did.
And then did I say right after that, the target after that's 10,000?
You did.
And did I start right about the 1st of November, start talking about the fact that we have a really good probability of going to $20,000 in December?
That you did.
And I gave you the reasons why, didn't I?
Sure did.
And we have stayed. Are you still in your Bitcoin trade?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So here we have, guys, we've been in this trade from, by the way, just so you know, it's a multi-7-figure trade for me. And yes, I'm still in the trade. Now, there's a lot I can say about that. We'll come back around to that. But let's just move on here. So, Nate, let's go to Ethereum. On Ethereum, Nate, you and I were on the phone. It was a Saturday or Sunday morning right here. Remember this?
I do.
And Nate has helped me get a lot of fiat dollars into the market. And I had put some money in Nate's account, as well as my parents, as well as my in-laws, as well as my wife's, as well as mine. And we were waiting to buy Ethereum. And Nate, did we buy Ethereum right here for $136?
That you did.
A bunch of it, too. Sorry, say that again?
I said quite a large portion.
Yeah, we bought a bunch of it. And then when it went back to the high, we got out. And have we been in Ethereum at all for the last several months?
No, we have not.
And right here, Nate, at around $315, right in there, did I not start calling you almost every day and saying, Nate, get some Ethereum. Nate, I'm buying Ethereum. Nate, I'm putting my profits over into Ethereum. Did I do that?
You sure did.
And for how many days did we sit in it before it took off?
Wasn't many. A week or less, maybe.
A week or less. And I'm not going to teach everybody in here tonight how I knew that, but I've been doing this 15 years. This is my craft. This is what I love. This is my passion. But I told you all about why it was about to happen, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
And we were right, because here we go. I told you, I said, once we break above $400, I said, we're going right up to 5 to 530. And guys, we're not done. It just, here you go, guys. One of the things I do is when I'm doing teaching or I'm doing any kind of room where there's a group of people, and there's almost 1,000 people in here, what I do is I like to tell people, so that it's not a waste of your time, some of the things that might be coming up. Well, let me tell you what I see coming up on Ethereum, so we don't even have to do a market review later on Ethereum. Stay with me, Nate. I got some more for you. On Ethereum, what we've got here is we've got an ABC retracement that's come back and tested the top of the breakout point, which was right here. This right here, guys, this was 169 days of pressure in this pennant that I have drawn here. And I'm not going to take the time right now, but I can take you back in Bitcoin's chart before it broke out and went to 10,000. And I can show you this same pattern right here where it built for 225 days. And when it broke out of there, it opened up the road to thousands of dollars on Bitcoin, thousands of dollars. But when this pressure breaks out of here and we have this pennant, it's going to come back and test these old highs, which used to be the ceiling. Now they've become the floor, and those old highs are now the new support levels. So once it's done testing that in this ABC pattern, you can expect to see Ethereum going up some more. And where are my price targets? My next price target on Ethereum is $700. My next price target above $700 is going to be $1,000. And then above that, we're going to $1,200, $1,300 on Ethereum. And this is a whole new market structure on Ethereum that leaves behind the first big push. Now let's go to another one. This next one is a lot of fun. If you guys are playing on your phone, put your phone down. You're going to like this one. All right, our favorite. Started out as Ant Shares, went to Neo. So I've got a couple questions here, Nate, so hang in with me. I traded this one time before you ever got in it, did I not?
Yes.
And I got in right over here. Do you remember that day I texted and I said, guys, I'm buying Ant Shares. And it was about, I don't know, $1.50, $2. It wasn't a lot. It was cheap. And then boom, 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 straight up. And I got out on the red day right here when it started coming back down. Do you remember that?
I do.
And then we started keeping an eye on it together. And I bought it back again right here. You remember that? I called you and I said, man, I just bought this thing back for $4.
Yep.
And I wrote it right back up to 12. And I said, guys, because there's more than Nate in my little group. So I was talking to everybody in the group and I said, guys, I'm out of Ant Shares. I've taken my profit now a couple times, and I'm waiting for it to pull back, and we're going to get in again. And if I'm not mistaken, Nate, because the price of Bitcoin is going up, didn't we get back in somewhere between $6 and $8? Just refresh my memory.
Sure did. I got in at $8, yeah.
Okay. Where was I at it? Do you remember?
I think you were a little before me. You were in the high 5s to 6 range.
Okay. And I even got out of it before you did because I saw another trade and I said, I'm cutting this loose on the way up, and I went and made another trade and I kind of kicked myself later, but you hung in there, didn't you?
I did.
How far did you ride it up?
I rode it up to a mid-20s and sold half my position, and then the rest was into the $50 range.
Why did you sell half?
Recommendation of a friend. Never be afraid to take some profits.
Which friend was that?
That would be you.
Were you happy you did it?
I was, yeah.
Even though it kept going up, you were happy you did it?
I did. It covered my initial investment. It was a wise choice, and the rest was still there to run.
Absolutely. Wise words right there. Wise words. Nobody goes broke taking profit, folks. Because guess what? The chart, when the chart looks like this, let me put the chart over here. When that's the end of the day right there, and that's all you can see, and you can't see the rest, and you're up from $8 to $20 in 3 days? Are you kidding me? Nobody goes broke putting profits in their account. Nobody. It's the pigs that stay in and go, I know it's going higher. No, you don't. Anybody that tells you they know it's going higher, they're lying to you. I've been doing this for 17 years, and I don't know it's going higher. I don't have a crystal ball. But guess what? Nate got one heck of a trade. Now, Nate, once you got out of this and took profits up near the top, you bought it back again down in here, didn't you?
I did.
And I did too. You remember I bought it at $18, $17. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote it back up. I think I told you I'm back out at $42. Do you remember that? That was like a 3-day trade.
I do.
And then you still had some more that you were holding on to. And if I'm not mistaken, right down in here on this pump, you called me and you said, I'm thinking about getting out of this, taking my profits, and waiting on it to pull back further.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I do.
And what did I do? I pulled up our little cheat sheet, and I had you tell me, I said, where are we in the cycle? And you told me exactly where we were in the cycle. And I didn't tell you to sell it. I said, I'm just going to show you where we're at in the cycle, and you make up your mind. And what did you do?
I sold it.
And what did the price do?
Went down within the next 2 days.
Did it go down 50% in the next 2 days?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did. It was a very wise move. And now, guess what? When this market cycle is over, and we're getting close to that, I had some lines drawn on here for you just the other day, Nate, and I'll put them back on here for everybody watching. We are just about to test, if we didn't today, we are back testing the actual trend line that we broke on that last pop. And if you remember, Nate, I actually gave you a time. You may not remember this. You and I were on the phone. Here it was just a couple weeks ago. I bet you will remember it. And I actually said to you, I drew some lines on here. And I said to you, I said, I've got 2 lines crossing. And I said, I see that happening somewhere around the first week of December. Do you remember that?
I do.
What week is it?
First week of December.
And is it touching where I showed you that day?
Pretty close to it, I think, from what I can see.
Okay, guys. So if you're paying attention, we might be getting close. What I like to do is I like to see the price stop falling, and then I like to see it go sideways for 7, 8, 9, 10 days, and then I like to see a lot of volume come into the price. So we're getting close to a potential new entry on NEO. Now, I know everybody on Twitter and everybody on YouTube, they're all holding. Oh, we're hodlers. We're hodlers. We've been in it since $52. God bless you. I've been trading, making thousands of dollars while you've been holding NEO from $52 or from $46. Why? Because there's a difference between someone saying NEO is going to be good, you should buy it, and you actually getting really good entries. A lot of the folks that had really bad portfolios that I've been helping them with lately, and by the way, I've stopped doing that, not doing it anymore. It's gotten out of control, and all of a sudden I had, just this past week, I had 40 people going, hey, we want to do a session with you, right? Because they want to fix their portfolio. I'll just go ahead and make an announcement to you guys right now that I was going to announce a little later. I am going to do a session, a pre-recorded session, and I'm giving Joe the rights to it, and the name of it's going to be How to Build the Perfect Portfolio for 2018. And guys, when I look at a trading year, I'm usually going for a 10 to 15-fold return over the course of a year, and that's the minimum. In fact, I bet you, watch this, I'll get Nate to back me up. Nate, since you got started in crypto trading with me, have you made most of the trades I've made?
Vast majority, yeah.
Yeah, and I know of a few you did. You did Cloak on your own. You did ADA on your own. You did a few. I've watched you do it. They were awesome trades because you took what you learned, you applied it, and you said, I don't need Jason to make this trade, and that's what you should be thinking. That's what you should be thinking. That's the part of empowerment that we're talking about here. But here's my question. Since we've been trading together, has your account doubled?
More than.
Tripled?
We're getting close.
And you've been trading, doing this for just a few months?
Yeah. I mean, really picking up the knowledge that you've been sharing, probably 3 months. I've been in the market for maybe 5.5.
Okay. So, and then here's my other question. Is your account, I know what you started with, and it wasn't, tens of thousands of dollars, but is your account getting pretty close to 6 figures?
It is.
It feels good, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
All right, let's go to the next one here, guys. So let's look at, oh yeah, I did want to show you guys this one. And this is one you and I traded before as well. This was actually a really good currency to hide your Bitcoin in when you don't want to put it in cash and you don't want to put it into Tether. And I never put money into Tether. I don't trust Tether. Tether can run away with your money tomorrow. Okay, here we go. So right here, Nate, I'll ask you this. Did we buy this right here for about, man, I think it was 13 cents at that time.
Yeah, it was in the low teens.
Yeah, and we wrote it up, if I'm not mistaken, it went to 31 cents over about a 2-week period, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good trade. Now, the reason I wanted to show you guys this one, not because it's hundreds and hundreds of percent, but I'm going to take my elbow right now through the internet and I'm going to rib you guys in the rib, okay? A trader, a real trader, cannot ignore this right here. I'm going to show you guys something. So you're going to get to learn something tonight. A real trader cannot ignore that right there. Okay, so here's your daily average volume line right there. So these are volume candles down here, and there's your daily average volume. Someone tell me, please, why is all that volume flowing into this currency? Why is that volume 4 times the normal daily volume for a week now? I'm not telling anybody they should buy this currency, but I'm going to buy it. And just understand, whether you believe in their project or not doesn't matter. Go look at their market cap. There's $3 or $4 billion worth of money out there that believes in it. So I'm okay trading it. I don't trade stuff that only has a $3 million market cap or a $4 million or a $25 million or a $75 million. I trade mostly things that have a $200+ million market cap, and other than that, I don't mess with them. Okay? It's hard to get in and out when you're putting 10 Bitcoin on a trade or you're putting 2 Bitcoin on a trade. And one of the things that I'll be teaching in my classes, I haven't even cut the video yet because I'm doing them live in session with my students, is I'm going to be doing an entire section on money management. And can I just tell you guys something? You trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dash, all those big market cap coins, you trade them totally different than you do a $200 million coin. You also trade, if you're gonna trade, you also trade a $100 million market cap, completely different. So there's a lot to learn there. People just think, well, I went on that last one with 2 Bitcoin, I'm gonna do that over here. There is a real method of science here, and this is what I'll be teaching people. Now, again, one last tip. It's not going to be long. I'm going to be buying this coin for the next market cycle. All right. Going to the next one, Nate. We did, let's see here. Oh, yeah. This will be a good one. How about pay token? Nate. Did we buy this? Did we buy this right down? Actually, I think we bought it right here, didn't we? We bought it on that right after that first little pop.
We did.
And we rode this up, and we took a lot of profits on it. And then when it came down, if I'm not mistaken, I know I did. I'm not sure if you did. Did you do this little trade with me, this rebound trade?
I don't think I did that one with you.
Okay, but we did get this part of the move right here.
We sure did.
And we were in it. We were in it before it took off, weren't we?
Yes.
Were we buying it when it went down? Like, you know how it popped up here and it did 3 days, then it retraced back right here? Is that when we bought it?
No, I was in it before then.
You were in it before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Most of my trades, guys, and Nate will tell you this, when you get a big surge like this with volume and then you have a low volume pullback right there like that, that's usually where I'm trying to get in, is on the low volume pullback. In fact, most of the stuff, and Nate will tell you this, that I have thrown out to him, usually there's 2, 3, 4 days to even get in the trade, isn't there, Nate? You can just, you don't have to run to your computer to get in. You can wait a couple, 3 days and let it pull back and get in, correct?
Right, absolutely.
All right. So moving forward, I'm going to condense this a little bit because I've got 4 or 5 more. I want to do 3 more, and I've got 7 more to do, but I'm going to do 3 more. Let's go to power. Now, guys, let me just give you a tip. The whole world is real excited about ICOs, okay? And what I'm going to tell you is this. I'm not against ICOs. What I'm against is I'm against tying up my money for 30, 60, 90 days, and then I have to wait for the coin to come out, and then I got to wait for it to sell off, and then maybe 4 or 5 months down the road I might make some money. So I don't do very many ICOs. What I have found is that by and large you can typically get involved in those coins after they come out, sometimes, most of the time, for cheaper than the ICO was. As an example, Kikiko. Right now you can buy Kikiko for 2 cents. Kikiko ICO when it came out at 37 cents. I think the main ICO was like 10 or 12 cents. But the point is, regardless of either one of those prices, 6 months later now, you're going to probably be able to buy Kikiko for 2 cents. Not a bad speculative play. Okay? This, however, is a ICO that I purchased. Do you remember me purchasing this, Nate?
I sure do.
And I had a bit of an argument with a friend of mine about it, and I kind of let him win the argument, didn't I?
You did.
I was going to put a full Bitcoin in, At that time, I think Bitcoin was almost $8,000 or maybe 6,000, something of that nature. No, I know what it was. It was just under $6,000 because I put a third of a Bitcoin in at $1,800. And where I got in this ICO, I had 39,000 tokens. And Nate, did I take this thing off at the very high?
I think you were pretty close to 90 cents, so you had a heck of a run up.
Yeah, I think I missed the high by like 7 or 8 cents on it.
Yeah.
And all I did, guys, which is something I teach in my room, for 17 years I've been trading in 3s and 5s and 3s and 5s and 3s and 5s. And I'll teach you that market structure. I'll teach you guys how to do that. And that way you know when a run is over and when it's not over. Same thing is going on right now with EOS. But this is one of the few ICOs I got involved in. And folks, with 39,000 tokens and $1,800 in that trade, you do the math. By the way, I'm looking to buy it back. We'll see exactly where to buy it back. I haven't had a chance to really follow the chart much. I see it's dropped a lot today because of Bitcoin's run and yesterday. But I'll be throwing that one out to Joe. Let's look at this. I'm gonna go down to 2 more. Let's do Bitcoin Cash. So here's the deal, guys. If you had been trading with me, I would have said buy Bitcoin Cash. Right down in here, you see the pop, you see the volume flow into it, see all these normal days here, and then all of a sudden you have this volume 3 times the size of a normal trading day, and it breaks our trend line right there. It breaks the trend line, has this surge in volume, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, Nate, didn't I tell you that Bitcoin Cash will be a good trade for somebody that wants to get in at 325? And didn't I say that we're going to take our first level of profit, if you get in this trade, would be to take your profit off somewhere around 600-700? Refresh my memory.
That's exactly what you said. It was between 325 and 335, and you said above 600 is what your first target was.
And then my second target was what?
I think it was between 900 and 1,000.
Yeah, it was 950.
Mm-hmm.
So folks, had you taken this trade when I put it out, you would have sat in it, with nothing going on for about 7 days, and then a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, and a little more, and a little more, and right here you would have taken profit off sideways, and then you would have taken this ride. And actually, after this happened right here, I had one of my trade rooms, and I told people in the trade room, we were somewhere right in here, and I told folks, I said, here's an area if you want to get into Bitcoin Cash, here's an area to get in. You remember that, Nate?
I do.
And I told them right down in here, I actually took and drew it on the chart and put a big square right there. And look what happened next, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I knew this pump was coming, but I had told people if they weren't in it and they wanted to get involved in it, that they could at least trade it up to our target of $1,000. So that's pretty phenomenal. Now let's do this one last one, and then we'll move off of this. And thank you for helping me out here, Nate, because, again, I can come in here and tell these people this, but you're another person. Did I pay you to tell a lie? Have I ever asked you to do that?
No, sir.
You wouldn't do it if I asked you, would you?
I would not.
I know your parents, and I know they didn't raise you that way. All right, Nate. Did I get in this trade? Did you get in this trade? You didn't get in this trade, did you?
I sadly did not get in this trade at 55 cents.
Okay, so you answered my next question. I was going to say,
I sure should have.
Where did I tell you I was getting in, and you already put it out there?
55 cents.
And I gave a target, I think, of $2.80 was the first target, and I said when we get there, there might be so much momentum. And I remember you asking me when we got there, you said, do you think it's okay to get in? And I said, on a pretty good pullback, yeah, you could get in. I see it going higher. And where did I say my next target was?
I think it was $4 to $5.
Yeah. So $4.50 to $5 was my next target. Now, those that were watching Joe's show, they got this trade too, because here's old Jay Snip just kind of keeping an eye on the charts, and he goes, oh, this is looking pretty good. It's going sideways. It's holding that 50-60 mark. I think I'm just going to take a chance. I remember his video that he put out about that. That was pretty awesome. Well, listen, Nate, thank you for joining us tonight. Again, like I said before, I can't promote myself. That's why I've asked Nate to come in here. And Nate, tell these guys, because you know most all of my friends and family, could I get like about 7 or 8 people in this room to say the same thing as you did just now?
Absolutely.
And a lot of those people have taken these trades with us because I tell them about them.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, thanks for joining us. And feel free to stick around, but if you don't mind, go ahead and mute your mic there.
No problem.
And I'm going to do one last thing, guys, before I move on from these moot points. I am going to ask, because here's something I know. I'm 45 years old, and my life's tremendous. I'm married. I have no debt. I haven't had any debt for a long time. And nobody writes anything in my calendar I don't want in it. But I've been doing public talks for a long time, and one of the things that I preach to people is I tell them this. It's just kind of one of my slogans. If you want the truth, bring your wife. That's what I tell people. If you want the truth, bring your wife, because most men will not lie in front of their wife. And my wife and I are together 24 hours a day. It seems like to us about every year we get 5 years of marriage in because we're never apart. We don't run away from each other at 8 o'clock in the morning and rejoin each other at 5 o'clock at night. Can I just tell you, if you're in love, that's phenomenal. That's an unbelievable way to live. And now we're doing it again in trading. But I've got my wife here, and I'm just going to ask her a couple questions. Can you come here, baby?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
All right. Do you mind if I tell these folks your name?
I don't mind.
Okay. My wife's name is Jillian, for you guys. Baby doll, you just heard everything I told Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been here and watched all that take place?
I have.
Has it been exciting?
It's been so exciting.
So Jillian and I have a joint venture in our own portfolio, and then she has her own portfolio. Has your portfolio, yours, not ours, but has yours grown?
It has.
And every one of those trades you're in, did you come up with them on your own?
I was following you.
You were following me, okay. So you followed your husband. That's cool. That's pretty cool for you. Now, I'm not going to keep you on here but just a minute, but guys, if it's okay with you, I'm going to build your dream a little bit.
Mm.
So this has never happened to me. You guys just happen to be coming in on a seminar that this happened today. And here's what I'm going to ask her. In our portfolio today, did it go up 6 figures?
It did.
Did it go up multiple 6 figures?
It sure did.
Multiple?
It did.
Multiple?
Yes, it did.
More than 600,000?
Yes.
And more than that?
Yes. More than that.
Today,
Today,
in the last 24 hours.
in the last 24 hours.
Hey, Joe, you got your mic there?
Yeah, and I was going to tell you, I think you forgot something. You're bringing these people on, and I already done a video. See, Sunday, I was doing my live stream. You were desperately trying to tell me a few things to tell the people while I was doing my live stream, or maybe that was Saturday night or whatever. And then, it was really late, so it got into Sunday, 12 a.m., 1 a.m. It was technically Sunday. And then the next day, you text me, hey, did you get my messages? I'm like, no, I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, Skype. So I open up Skype, and I'm reading everything you sent me. So I immediately do a video. And I said, you said, by the way, if Bitcoin, when it hits 11,245, that was the number, 11,245, you say that at 2:07 a.m., Bitcoin is going to fly if it goes above that. You said, then you tell me go get some rest. Then right after that morning, 7:41 a.m., he said it again. You said it again. As stated above 11,245, it's going to fly. And here we were talking a minute ago, earlier, about this freaking $14,000 Bitcoin, which is insane.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And let me ask you something, Joe, while you're on here. In the last couple days, did I give you exact targets that Bitcoin was going to go to?
Yeah, you actually nailed it.
Every single target I hit when it got there, if you're watching the chart, every one that it hit, it pulled back $500, $600, $800. And then I said to Joe, I said, once it goes above that one, the next target is this. Every single one of those has been hit except the last one. well, not the last one. I gave him 2 more. Here's what I told him. I said, if we can get above the 14, the 14, probably 1, 14, 2, we're going right to 15,250, 15,250. And I said, if we get above that, in my opinion, if we get above 15.5, we open the door to go right to 20,000. And guess what? Here we are, the first week of December. Last month in November, Bitcoin's gone up $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, whatever it is. And now we're going to open the door potentially for Bitcoin to go. And again, guys, what happens in trading, and I'll teach you guys this, is you have to have a confirmed breakout. And there's a number of things that'll confirm a breakout. And I'll teach you what all of them are. But if we get a confirmed breakout above that 14,000 zone, we're going right to 15,250. And if we can get a breakout above 15.5, it opens the door all the way to $20,000. And it will probably happen in a hurry. When you see that happening, it's going to happen in a hurry, which again goes back to what I started talking about at the beginning of November. Thank you, baby, for sharing. Like I said, guys, bring your wife if you want the truth. Okay? Most women will not lie for their husband. Now, I don't lie anyway, and I despise people that do. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to set the stage for you guys so you understand you're not hearing from another con guy out there in the world who's not willing to show his face. I'm not willing to show my face or put my name out there because I don't need my life infiltrated again. I can just go away and trade, and I don't have to help a single soul. But I want to. I want to help some people. I like getting the emails that I get where people go. I got an email yesterday, and this guy sent me an email. Actually, it was a text. I sent it to you, Joe. He sent me a text, and he said, hey, thank you for the EOS trade. I made $7,000. Is that not right, Joe?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I took a screenshot and I sent it right to Joe. I love stuff like that. I love being able to help people. But I also know that I'm just one person and I can't have the life sucked out of me. I enjoy dating my wife. I enjoy taking walks in the park in the middle of the day while everybody's at work. But here's the deal, guys. I want to also teach you how to do it. And as I started looking around the world of crypto over these last 6 months, what got me so inspired to put these courses together is I realized that everybody out there is following people that if they get it right, they're getting it right by sheer luck alone. But most people are not getting it right. Oh, they might get it right if you hold on to the coin for, like 6 months and you ride it negative, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 negative. But they're not getting it right where you can take a trade and in 7 days to say 21 days you're in the profit and you get an opportunity to say, gee, I'm up 80%, I'm up 60%. I think it might be worth taking some profits here. And no one's teaching you how to actually read a chart and how to really know. I mean, I see people go, oh, you don't need that, just throw a Fibonacci on there. Okay, well, if that's what you think trading is, then come show me your account and we'll compare notes. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. There's a whole lot more to trading. Joe, let me ask you a question. In the last 24 hours, you've listened to one of my videos on the psychology of trading, have you not?
Yes.
Did you learn like about 100 things you probably didn't think you would have learned on that video?
Yeah. I think that was a video where I decided to change your nickname from Crypto J, since it's already taken on YouTube anyways, to Trader Boss.
Yeah. And the point is, guys, is that's one video in my first module, but it's the very first video because here's the deal. If you don't get the foundation right, it's just like any house or any building you're building. If you don't get the foundation right, why waste your time? And Joe, do I go into the foundation? I mean, big time, the foundation on that video?
Oh yeah, big time.
And then I show people how that applies right on the chart, don't I? I say, this is how this stuff applies right here. This is your brain on emotion.
Yep.
So guys, what I'm doing is I'm putting this course together for Joe, and I've got my own group of core traders that I trade with. There's just a few hundred of them. And I made a commitment to those folks. I said, listen, if you'll stick with me, and here's what I told them. I said, we're going to do a comparison of education. We're going to compare someone going to college and spending $80,000 to $100,000 to get something they don't even want, called a job. I call it just over broke. But they go out and they work for another boss. They leave their family. They do something they do not want to do. They trade hours for dollars. And most people, I can prove to them if they let me, I can just prove to them that they're worth so much more than that position pays them. They're worth so much more than that position pays them. And I'll prove it to you guys. Ask yourself these questions real quick. Is there anybody in this room that would trade me $1 million? I'll give you $1 million, you give me your eyeball. Or how about maybe I give you $1 million and you give me your left arm? Or, I don't know, maybe I need a right foot. Let's trade. I'll give you $1 million, you give me a right foot. Most of you are sitting in your chair or on your couch or wherever you are, and you're right now shaking your head going, I'm not making that trade. And the reason why is because you're worth millions for used parts, people. So my point is that we go off in life because this is what we're taught, and this is what all we know, and we trade hours for dollars. And we let a job tell us what our net worth is. We let a job tell us what our real value is. And folks, that's not your real value. I just proved it to you. So why aren't you making millions? You've got this market right in front of you. Here's the thing I know. You got to first be able to turn 1,000 into 2,000. You got to then be able to turn 2,000 into 4,000. You got to then be able to turn 4,000 into 8,000. You've got to then be able to turn 8,000 into 16,000. Hey, Joe, let me ask you another question. I appreciate you coming on and off with your mic, buddy. I really do.
Yeah,
Joe,
sure.
today, when I was just asking my wife about these trades today, first of all, folks, understand this. I was not bragging. But you know what I know? In this world, in 2017, you better show me the money. If you're going to start talking to me about something, you better show me the money. And so when I contacted Joe, I said to Joe, you don't have to ask. I'll show you the money, Joe. I'll show you these trades. I'll show you my trade stations. I'll show you everything. So here's my question, Joe. Today, did I show you my account balance today? Twice?
Yep. Insane.
I sent it to you. You have it on your phone, don't you?
Yeah, it's a screenshot of your portfolio that I've already seen.
And it
That
shows
went up nicely.
It shows you the percentage that it went up as well as the dollar amount. And guys, I'm telling you right now, I've never had a day like that. Now, the last time something remotely like that happened was the weekend of Thanksgiving. In about a 4 or 5 day period, our portfolio went up over $1 million in 4 or 5 days. But you see, I also believe that I'm at a point where I deserve that. Because guess what? This has been a 17-year craft for me. And one of the reasons that I want to do these videos for you guys is this. You know, most people will tell you, if you can walk through the minefield after somebody, that would probably be your preference, rather than walking through a minefield in front of somebody. Joe, would it be better for you to walk through a minefield behind me knowing that I didn't get blown up?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is you guys don't actually have to learn by getting knocked out and getting punched between the eye by trading. And let me tell you something. Trading will cut you open and you will find out what you're made of, especially if you get into really trading and quit all this gambling and taking chances. And you have a real portfolio that's growing every year and it's something you can depend on. But here's what I want you to know. You can learn from my mistakes. I'm going to teach in my classes every single thing that I know that's in my head. I am literally putting more brain juice into putting these together for these folks. And like I said, this started with a smaller group of a few hundred people that I made a commitment to. And here's what I told them. I said, you guys can go out here and you can find some Joe Blow who's selling a course, and let's say it's $6,000, $7,000, and I know how much they are. I've taken a bunch of them. And many of them I walked away from and I said, you know what? I wasted $6,000 or $7,000. And it wasn't because I already knew the information. It's because somebody conned me into buying a course and there was no value in it. That guy was teaching me theory. He couldn't actually show me a trade. Now, you kind of learn these things as hindsight. Well, guess what I've done? And this is just part of what my personality is. Here's what I've done. I've said, okay, I'm going to do these modules. You can buy one class at a time. You don't have to buy a module. A module is normally going to be 2 to 3 classes. I'm probably going to have 6 or 7 modules, maybe 9 modules by the time I'm done. And when I'm done, along the way, you will have made money. But here's my thought process about it. If you just take one class at a time, and I don't provide the value I'm telling you that I can, don't ever do it again. Go away. Go back to YouTube. Forget about it. So guess what? The pressure's not on you. It's on me. The only thing is, I know I've already taught 25,000 people around this globe how to do this. I can do that. I'm not teaching theory. I've got trading accounts. I've got many, many, many hardware wallets full of coins. Full of coins. Hey, Joe, did I show you a hardware wallet that had my populist position in it? Didn't I show you that?
Yeah, amongst others.
Okay. Now, can I just tell these folks in here that that one position is getting close to $1 million? And when I showed it to you, it was over $500,000. You remember that?
Yeah, and I was just telling myself how I was waiting for the crypto gods. Just take it a little less, little more than under 9. Just go, baby. Come on, a little bit further and I'm jumping in. And I missed the boat. And I still don't have any now.
Oh, no. You don't have any?
No, no populist.
Okay. Well, I'm going to change that. You and I'll make a trade.
All right.
All right? I'm going to change that. I got plenty, brother. I got plenty. So anyway, guys, the point I'm trying to make to you is this. I will teach you not from a position of theory, but from a position of someone who spent the better part of my adult life learning how to do this. I still make mistakes. Nate would probably come back on here and tell you that. I've made some mistakes where I called him up and I said, I cannot believe I did that. But I'm a human being, but I still make mistakes. And guess what? I get to learn from them. But you get to learn from all of my mistakes from 17 years, and you don't have to make them if you don't want to. If you choose to make them, well, that's on you. But you don't have to. If you take this seriously, you take these modules seriously. I already have folks that are in my trading courses, and I can see how many times they view a video. And I know the people that are taking it serious and the people that are just breezing through it going, okay, what's the next module? And you know what I want to do? I want to call them up and go, quit wasting your time and your money. This is not a college textbook. This is, you really want to be in this space. You want to put 50, 100,000. You want to put 10,000. You want to put 5,000 in and just get started. You want to put 500 in and turn it into a nice nest egg and then turn it into a bigger nest egg and then create wealth from it and then retire from it. That is why I'm doing these classes. I'm not going to meet hardly any of you guys, I promise you. I'm not. But that's not why I'm doing it, is to meet you. I'm not doing it for notoriety. I don't want to be on CNBC. I don't want to be in the press. I don't have Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. I live in the mountains, folks. And in my spare time, I spend time with my wife. It's just that simple. I'm not doing this for a Lambo. I've had every nice car you can name on the planet. And you know what, guys? After you've had them for about 2 or 3 weeks, you find out that all the fun in it was really finding it and getting it. I've had the nice homes. I've had the nice watches. I've had all of it. I'm not moved by any of it, guys. I'm emotionally attached to one thing. And you guys just heard from her a few minutes ago. I'm not emotionally attached to Bitcoin. I'm not emotionally attached to Populous. I'm not emotionally attached to any of it, but that's part of learning to be a trader. And once you get there, you haven't arrived then. You're still learning, but guess what? You now can make educated decisions that a day from now, 2 days from now, 5 days from now, it pays you dividends. So understand the difference between opportunity cost when you're looking at these modules on Joe's site. Understand the difference between opportunity cost and hard cost. Hard cost is, okay, it's $375 for a module. There's your hard cost. What'd you make from it? Well, I don't know. You came in here for free tonight, and I've already told you a couple big tips that'll make you money if you were listening. I'm going to tell you one more before we get done that'll make you a boatload of money. You want your education paid for the whole year. Now listen, this education module, I'll probably finish them sometime around June. sometime around June, maybe July or August. Just depends how much I can condense into that time. Like I know in January, I'm probably only going to get to do 3 classes, maybe 2 classes. Here in December, I only did 3. So I'm going to get it done, and I'm not stopping until it's done. But here, you guys want all that paid for? Let's say in the end you've spent, you've invested maybe $3,000, $4,000, maybe $5,000, I don't know, into your education, learning this. I'm gonna pay you guys all right now. The whole amount of money, I'm gonna pay it to you right now. Buy yourself, just go ahead right now and buy yourself $1,000 worth of Litecoin. And when my classes are done, you will have made more than 2 times the amount that you've spent in my class. There's your tip. Your education just became free. Oh, that's not a good one? Okay, let's think of another one here. How about on a little bit of a pullback, buy some EOS? Can I tell you guys what EOS is going to do this year? Here's what it's going to do. It's going to blow your ever-living mind. But don't chase it. All of these come back. Let it pull back a little bit, and if you don't care, just get in today. I don't care where you get in, but normally I like to get a little pullback like it's done today. That's a good pullback to where at least I didn't buy the top. That right there, a little bit of EOS will pay for all your education this year. And guess what, guys? I don't do a class without telling my class a great, phenomenal coin to get involved in. I gave my class this past Saturday a coin, and I said, hey guys, here's a coin I'm getting into today right here at this point, and guess what, guys? I didn't get in it. I was too stinking busy, had too much going on, but a lot of people in that class did. Now, I always get in my trades, and I'm usually expecting them to be 3 days to 3 weeks and maybe a little bit more. They're called swing trades. It just so happens that on that day, the whole trade, which was I think about a 68 or 78% trade, happened in about a 3 or 4 hour period. I told you about it, didn't I, Joe? I told you about it that day that it happened. I said, here's the one I gave my class, and I showed it to you on the chart. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. Amongst other things you've showed me, that including ones that hadn't happened yet that have now happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, guys, what I'm going to do is I've got to jump off here in 20 minutes. I'm going to give you guys a couple little quick announcements to be looking for. If you're wondering why Litecoin, why is everybody talking about Litecoin? Why is Jason talking about Litecoin? All I'm going to tell you guys is this. Litecoin, it's kind of like going into that Ferrari dealership and looking at that $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 Bitcoin and going, I don't think I can afford one of those. But you don't go home and start buying parts for Ferraris so that you can build one, and once you get it built, then you put together your Ferrari over a 3 or 4 year period. You know what you do? You go, that Corvette ain't so bad. That Porsche for $100,000, that's not so bad. And you go buy a Porsche or a Corvette. And guess what? People coming into this business and they're going to see Bitcoin this year, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I have a target on Bitcoin for 2018 that reaches out to $100,000. But I told Joe today, I said, if we reach 20 grand by December, I'm changing my target on Bitcoin. I'm changing it to $250,000. Now, to confirm it, I'm going to go look at my charts when we get to 20,000. But I already know. I mean, I look at this stuff hours every single day, hours and hours. So in the future, here's some of the things you're going to see. You're going to see Litecoin coming out with announcements. Oh, we just cut a deal with MasterCard. Oh, we just cut a deal with Visa. You're going to see platforms that are going to give Coinbase a run for their money. I have all this information on very good authority. We're talking about platforms you'll be able to link your wallets to anytime you want and make trades right from your wallet. You're not going to have to move your money to Bittrex. You're not going to have to move your money to Coinbase. Those guys are making a mint on you. And there's technology coming out right now that's blockchain that's going to blow those platforms away. You guys need to really get on board with what rare air you're in the fact that we are in the innovator stage in this market. We are moving toward the early beginners, and then after you've made a bunch of money on what you've learned in these courses over the next 2 years, and you've made all that money, strap your seatbelts on around 2020, and we're going to hit mass adoption. And all of a sudden, it's not going to be 100,000 people getting into crypto. Wow, I just happened to glance over at Bitcoin. It's swinging around pretty good. You're not going to be hearing about 100,000 people a day got in. You're going to be hearing about 100,000 people an hour just got in crypto. That's called mass adoption. And here you've taken the time to learn something, really learn something, to where you can make a difference in your portfolio. And in 2 years, away you go. You take that wealth you've created and you go to mega wealth. You're the people right now that just heard about Amazon. You're the people that just heard about Google. But here's the deal. Know what to do with it. Learn how to really, truly take advantage of it. And I'll just tell you guys, I told you a little while ago, I'm cutting this course about making the perfect portfolio for 2018. Joe will have that up on his website in a couple days. And let me tell you something, guys. I have people offering me right now, if I'll just go back into doing 1 hour sessions for their portfolio, I have people offering me $1,000+ for an hour to do that. And do you think that course is going to cost you $1,000? No. Is it going to cost you $500? No. It's going to be less. But it's going to be well worth your time. I'm not just going to tell people, buy this one and buy that one. Oh, I'm going to tell you what I'm buying, but I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you what to look for. I'm going to tell you some points in the year to be looking for this, this, and this. I'm going to take you in and tell you why this one's better than that one. It's going to be an awesome one. I mean, I'm not putting any people in it. It's going to take me an hour and a half or so to cut it. But when I cut it, it's going to be the very same thing that I do one-on-one sessions with people with. So you guys look for it because I've given Joe the rights to it. And Joe, you've done an awesome job already. I mean, phenomenal, especially what you did last night. I hate you were up all night doing that. But can you bring your mic back on?
Yeah.
What I want to tell these folks is this. I've got 15 minutes. If you'll go to the section, now guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, do not troll me like you troll Joe. I don't put up with that crap. If you've paid, I don't care. I'll boot you out so fast I'll never let you buy anything else. I don't put up with that, guys. Be adults. Just be adults. If you don't like what Joe's saying, if you don't like what I'm saying, go away. So I'm gonna read some of these questions in here. Let me open this question box. If you guys want to, put a few questions up real quick in the questions area, and I'll see if I can answer a couple before I've got to run here. I'm going to give you guys till my time. It is 8:16, so I'm going to go till 8:35, and then I really have to run to get on this other webinar. Joe, anything you want to add real quick before I do this?
Yeah, this video you're watching right now will be up for free on the website. And I'm thinking I might just put on YouTube as well, this particular one, just so everyone has an idea as to what this guy's about, what he's talking about, what he's going to be showing you, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And guys, I didn't even get into any teaching tonight. I mean, you know, we'd be wasting our time for me to even try to teach you 10 or 15 minutes worth of stuff, because trading's not about 10 or 15 minutes. So I see a lot of people saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Someone says Litecoin targets. How about just hold your Litecoin for the next year? And what will happen is Litecoin will be cresting into the realm that Bitcoin did this year, and you'll see another 7x growth over a 6-month period. My opinion on Litecoin, guys, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in the next 12 to 18 months. So put it in your Ledger Nano and just hold on. And if you're in my classes, you're going to hear me talk about it, because Litecoin is something I talk heavily about. Okay, people are saying OMG, one of my absolute favorite coins. I'm actually, the chart itself has just finally got to the bottom of its cycle. Around 55,000 to 60,000 Satoshis is where I see it bottoming out. You guys can watch and see what happens. And from there, we start a new cycle. And I am very, very excited about OMG. Like, I've got a couple $100,000 I'm about to sink into OMG. And I bought OMG when it hit $5.75, quite a bit. OMG has one of the best teams of people working on that coin and that technology. And you got to understand, they were already a business making lots of money, millions. So all they're doing is, moving that stuff over to the blockchain. Just want to say thank you. You're welcome. Hello from Idaho. Hello. Any insights on DIM? Not really. Looking for the next BTC pullback target. Okay, guys, I know it's tough to buy Bitcoin at these levels. Believe me, I do. But I've got friends of mine that have been trying to buy into Bitcoin since it was $7,500. And I told them, the buy pressure is not going down, it's going up. And we have started into an S-curve. If you guys are following these guys on the internet and how they put their charts up and tell you all this stuff, if they aren't showing you an overlay chart of an S-curve, quit looking at it. Because Bitcoin has entered the S-curve. You guys want to see it? I'll show you the S-curve. It has entered the S-curve, and it's going to go straight up. Let me show you guys the S-curve. I'll show it to you where you can really see it. There it is, right there. You guys tell me you don't see straight stinking up. Now, what happens with an S-curve is this. An S-curve, and if you want to track it, you can track all kinds of stuff on an S-curve. You can track the growth of Twitter, you can track the growth of Facebook, you can track the growth of bacteria in a lab. You can track anything you want with an S-curve, but here's what it starts out looking like. And you start out over here, and you start out going this way, little by little by little. This is the first few years of Bitcoin. And a little more, and a little more. And it starts to curve. You're 6, 7 years in. It starts to curve, starts to go up, and all of a sudden it turns and it goes straight up. And for how long does it go straight up? Well, Facebook went up 7 years straight up. 7 years straight up. Do you think that this crypto market is a little bit more important than Facebook? I do. It challenges every single industry on this planet with the Truth Protocol. Guys, this is going to be phenomenal. Take a little bit of time and learn how to get involved. Learn how to really make money from it. I am going to pour my heart out to a lot of people. And I hope to see some of you guys there. Let's see here. Next question. There's a bunch of them, guys. Everybody's asking about. IOTA is going to be fantastic on a good pullback. It'd be worth getting involved in. Salt's a good coin. No problems there. I think it should be in your portfolio. Do you use stochastics on your chart? Yeah, you can see them there on the bottom of my chart right here. The stochastics tell me when I'm resetting the chart. So when the chart resets, I can follow that on stochastics. And I teach that in my courses because some people, all they look for is divergence on stochastics. There is so much more to stochastics if you'll marry them with another indicator. And I teach every bit of that in my course. Let's see. Someone says they're guys. If you're ready, just go ahead and how fast can I make $500 grow? Fast. You can make it grow real fast. It doesn't matter how much you have, guys. You start with 500 or 500,000. If you have the right money management, let me tell you guys something. This just triggered a thought for me. If you guys have the right money management, you can actually lose 7 times out of 10 and your portfolio still goes up. Now, I'm not looking here. Is Nate still here? Nate, are you still in here? I don't know if he's here. This guy gets up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Sure am. I'm right here.
Nate, you've been trading with me since May.
Yeah.
How many losses have I had?
Not all that many, to be honest. A handful.
Try to put a number on it. Not that many is not that great.
Probably less than 10.
Well, I would say less than 5.
Yeah, maybe that too. Of the ones I've known, moderate losses definitely less than 10. But yeah, less than 5 makes sense too.
Yeah. So the point is, guys, I'm just sitting here telling you that on money management, you guys can lose 7 times out of 10 and still move your portfolio forward. And in fact, if you put your money with a big firm on Wall Street, that's about what they do. Those guys are not winning 90% of the time, even though they wear a $1,000 suit to work. Don't let that fool you. Those guys work on commission, and that's what it's all about. That's the name of their game, is commission. I will show you guys how to be a 70, 80, 90% trader at times. I've showed you right here on this chart most everything I've traded since May. There's probably 6 or 7 other coins. And like I said, every single one of them but a few. And some of them I cut loose for a small loss. I mean, I think the biggest loss I've taken, now you guys got to remember, I'm trading hundreds of thousands of dollars at a time. And I think one of the biggest losses I've taken is about $1,400. So take that, do the reverse math, and you might have lost $100 if you were trading with, say, $5,000. Okay? So put it in perspective. And I haven't had any major losses in this market. I'm not sitting in any coins right now that I'm negative in. I got a whole portfolio full of coins, and every one of them is kicking butt.
I can vouch for that.
My wife. Yeah. So let's go to a few more questions here. So guys, if I see people asking here how to get involved in the education, just go to Joe's website. Joe, you want to tell these guys what the website is? You want me to put it up on the screen, Joe?
Yeah, it's cryptosclass.com.
With an S.
Yep.
I see a lot of people saying, you know, how do I get involved? How do I get the class? Nice job on the site, though, dude. Truly.
Yeah,
I mean,
thanks.
just listen, all you need is an automated site to be able to get the data to people. You don't need a site to be a $100,000 site. This is phenomenal. Love it, dude. Love it. Scroll down through here. A lot of our stuff has, you know, it has kind of a description to tell you what to expect. But, you know, again, guys, most of my classes, they go for, on Saturdays, I go for 4 hours straight with a 30-minute break in the middle, and then I do 2 hours or so of Q&A, and people get to ask me really anything they want to ask me. And I'd stay here with you guys tonight and do a whole lot more, but I had a guy who's got a big seminar tonight, so it's a webcast online with 10,000 people, and he said, listen, would you please come in here and talk to these people? And I said, sure, I'll come talk to them. So let's look here. Stellar Lumens, that's a trade that I'm in right now. Let me ask Nate. Nate, did you get in Stellar Lumens? I think you did.
I sure did. 60% profit in about a week.
60% profit. This is a trade I also put my son in about a week and a half ago, and my son is now up 125%. Not bad for an 18-year-old. I also put one of my best friends in it. I didn't realize he was putting so much in it. He put thousands of dollars in it, and he actually called me today, and he said, dude, he said, I'm almost up 10 grand on this trade. So pretty cool. I didn't tell him to do that. I just tell people what the trades look like. It's up to you to have good money management. I'm going to teach you that, and then it's up to you to be disciplined. Bitcoin Cash in January. Yeah, guys, I see, you know, Bitcoin Cash could potentially go back to around the $3,000 level. I'm not sure when. If it does do that in December and you're holding it, I would be looking to take some profits on Bitcoin Cash before the 1st of January, and I'll go ahead and disclose it to you guys, okay? Here's the deal. The largest holder of Bitcoin in the United States and in most continents is Coinbase. So Coinbase has been doing what for 6 months with Bitcoin Cash? They've been holding everybody's Bitcoin Cash. As the largest holders of Bitcoin, when the fork went off, the largest number of Bitcoin Cash are going to be released on January the 1st. So let me ask you a question. You're going along, making your trades, living your life, waiting on your Bitcoin Cash, and on the day they come out, you got 100 of them, you got 50 of them, you got 10 of them, and they're $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 worth of free money per coin. What are you going to do? You're going to sell it. You're going to push the sell button, and if you're a Bitcoin buyer through and through, you're going to put your money in Bitcoin, okay? So there's going to be a lot of people hitting the sell button come January 1st. So when that happens, I think Bitcoin Cash is a coin that'll be around for a long time to come. I don't see it going to zero like I do a lot of altcoins. And when it goes back down low again, I'm going to be telling the folks I'm trading with, hey, here's our points to get in, because you can better well believe I'll be analyzing the chart. And as Nate told you earlier, I told everybody right where to get in before. Somebody wants to know about IRS capital gains. Talk to an accountant. Just remember, folks, in the United States of America, you have a voluntary tax system. Do a little research. You might find out there's some things you don't know about that, but it's voluntary. That's all I'll say about that. Someone says, thank you so much. Cannot wait to start learning. We're happy to have you. Let me tell you what I want to do, guys. And we're down to the last 7 minutes here for me. Here's what I want to do. If 1,000 people buy these courses through Joe, or 10,000 people, I don't care the number. If just 10% of those people truly take it serious and they don't waste their money, and guys, if you're going to waste your money, can I just plead with you right now, put it in Bitcoin. Don't buy the course. Joe doesn't need your money, I promise you. I don't need your money, I promise you, okay? You say, well, if you don't need the money, why are you charging for it? Oh, I'm going to charge for it. I'm a business guy through and through, and I am money motivated. But here's the deal. If I could just hear about down the road 10% of the people that got involved, that it changed their life forever, I would be so thrilled. It would just move me beyond imagination to hear that just 10% of the people took it serious, and they went out and they didn't just change their life, they changed their kids' lives, they changed their grandkids' lives, and then hopefully they paid it forward. And they taught somebody else and said, hey man, check out what I learned. Let me show you what I learned from this guy. I don't know him, I've never met him, but you know what? He put this stuff together for us and it made a difference. That's what I want to hear about, okay? And I've made it where it's extremely cheap and you don't have to buy it all. You don't have to commit to me. I'm not asking you to commit to me. If you get down the road one course and you go, not so much, move on, move on. But if that's you, in my opinion, your wood's wet. Because I'm going to tell you something, guys. I've been training people for a long time in trading, and all I get from people is how, man, oh man, you changed my trading today. Man, oh man, you set me free on some things. Da 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 da. All you guys are asking me about your coins. You know what that tells me? It tells me you need some education. If I were to teach you guys, I mean, there are so many questions. This coin, that coin, this coin. What about this coin? What about this coin? You guys need education. You're in coins you know nothing about. You don't know where the price is going. You don't know what it looks like technically. You don't know about the fundamentals of it. Guys, get the education. Get the education. Oh my goodness, I just want to get to a question that's not about a coin. Should profits be okay? Kip Lee, he says he has 0.3 of Bitcoin, about $5,000. Should I hold on to it or should I be taking profit? Very good question, right? And putting it into other coins. Let me talk to you guys about other coins. When I take Bitcoin and I put it in another coin, I almost always do it. Not always, but almost always. I put it in a coin that is ready to go, and that coin has the ability to outpace Bitcoin for that next 3, 4, 5 weeks. And that's the only time I do it. As far as taking any of my Bitcoin, and guys, I'll tell you, my portfolios are 30, 40% dominant Bitcoin. Look at the market cap. When Bitcoin is 56% dominant, your portfolio should be 30, 40% dominant of Bitcoin. It's your hedge. When all the altcoins are going down and going sideways, you guys need to have some Bitcoin because it'll be going up. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you guys something that nobody's ever showed you before. Maybe a couple of you might go, I've seen that before, but I guarantee you with the number of people that are in here, not many people have seen this. This is going to be the last thing I show you before I have to go. Let me pull my charts up here. I want now you guys keep the question thing here. Keep it free for right now. Don't put anything in there. Don't put anything in there. Stop typing. Stop typing. Okay. Keep it free just for a second because I'm going to ask you guys a question. And I want some answers before I move on. Let me go here. All right, here we go. Number one coin right here for 2018. Oh my goodness, what is that? Is that getting close to 55,000 Satoshis? I think it is. I think it is. Now I want to ask you guys something. Let me get rid of some of this. Here's my question. Nobody's typing. All right. Right here. Right there. I bought this coin, not a lot of it, but I started my accumulation right there. And I bought it on one of those days on the dip for $5.75. I want you guys to tell me how come now it's down here lower than it was over here. It's lower. The chart's lower. If you go look at silver when the chart gets lower, is the price lower? Of course it is. When you look at gold, if the price is lower, is the chart lower? Of course it is. They match. So here's my question to you, and anybody can answer. Why is this down here at a lower price on the chart, but the price is higher than it was a month ago when it was up here? Somebody go ahead, just type it in. Why is it lower? I see a few right answers. I see a few right answers. Cap increasing, no, it's not the cap. It's not a falling wedge. All right, guys, so here's the deal. And a lot of you got it right. I'm actually surprised at the number of people. Out of almost 1,000 people, I would bet 50 people or so got it right. Here's the deal. Everything you trade, just about everything you trade in this market, it starts with Bitcoin and it ends with Bitcoin. So the reality is this. Whenever I got it at $5.75, Bitcoin might have been, let's say, 8 grand. Well, Bitcoin's price determines the value of a Satoshi. So the value of a Satoshi is determined whether Bitcoin's high or low. It goes, it changes, it fluctuates every single day, every single hour. So when the value of a Satoshi goes up, here's what happens. The price of, or the actual chart you're in goes down, but the price stays high. So people are selling their OMG because they go, oh my God, Bitcoin's running. I want to be a part of Bitcoin running. Bitcoin's the king. I want to be a part of it. So they sell their altcoins and they buy Bitcoin. And then they flood back into the altcoin after Bitcoin goes up. It's called the sloshing effect. You've probably heard some people talk about it on YouTube. So what's taking place is the value of a Satoshi is going up. And because it's going up, the price of this coin, while the chart goes down, is going up. It's going up. So now it's getting close to where I really wanted to buy it, and the price is almost double what I bought it for last time. Okay, if I had a crystal ball and I said, I know 100% Bitcoin's going way up, I'd have bought all of it at $5.75. But here's what's great. The chart's gone down, and I'm still up on it pretty strong, right? Now, here's where your double whammy comes in that most people don't pay attention to as well. When you have a coin going up on the same day that Bitcoin's going up, you get a double whammy. You get the value rise of the Satoshi, plus you get the value that's flowing into that coin in price. It's a double whammy. You know what I like to teach people? I like to teach people how to get involved in some of these altcoins on a day when Bitcoin's going up, or on a time frame when Bitcoin's going to go up for a couple weeks. You get a double whammy. Anyway, guys, I encourage you to get involved with Joe. I'm not going to support you. Joe's going to support you. I'm going to give you the information. At any point in time, you feel like you wasted your money, don't get any more. I don't see that happening. I'm not being cocky. I've just helped a lot of people become successful traders. And I'm willing to help you from a distance. So, Joe, unless you've got anything, buddy, I've got to roll off of here.
Yeah, no, appreciate you coming on. It's going to be fantastic to put up for everybody to see.
Awesome, awesome. So I'll get this recording over to you, Joe, sometime this evening, and then you can do what you need to with it, okay?
Excellent.
Everybody, thank you for coming tonight. Nate, thank you for being here. Joe, talk to you soon, guys.
Bye.